Back inside the Davis Event Center for the men's slate now. EMCC on the road, traveling up north to see ICC play. Face off against ICC here inside the Davis Event Center as EMCC comes in on the night 15-6, 8-2 in division play. ICC 9-11, 5-5 in division play. Should have a good one. Had a good one back a couple weeks ago when the two squared off. EMCC led by 2 at the half and ended up winning by 9 points after playing much better there in the second half down in Scuba. We'll take you to the floor now for the starting lineups. First for East Mississippi, these starting lineups brought to you by Coke. There is a look at those starting lineups brought to you by Coca-Cola. Again, we'll run those down for you. Starting for East Mississippi at guard will be Danny Washington, a 5'11", 180 freshman out of Greenville. Also, Rico Gibson Jr. Gibson Jr. is a freshman at 6'6", 190 out of Memphis, Tennessee from Memphis Academy of Science and Engineering. That's Gibson Jr. averaging 12.2 points per game. Tremont Pittman, another guard in the starting lineup, a 6'1", 175 freshman out of Meridian. That is Pittman for EMCC. And then the forward will be Ja'Cory Smith, leading scorer at 15.9 points per game, a 6'6", 220 freshman out of Utica, Raymond High School. And then rounding out the starting lineup will be Khan Ajang, the center at 6'9", 200 out of Juba, South Sudan. That's the starting lineup for the EMCC Lions, as this will be the opening tip brought to you by First American National Bank. It is controlled by ICC's Madarius Hobson. Starting lineup for ICC, a whole host of sophomores: Carlton, Doolittle, Champ, Hobson, and Brown. Hobson, the leading scorer, at 14.3 points per game. He's got his hands on the basketball right here. As you see, Ajang forcing the issue here early on, fronting the post there, gets his hand on the basketball, knocks it loose. It's out of bounds off ICC, and EMCC has it for the first time tonight. EMCC in their road blacks with gray writing for the numerals and the numbers. ICC wearing those home grays. They split it between white and gray at home. Tonight, gray with the blue lettering. Pittman drives the lane, stops right there at the free throw line, kicks up top of the key to Smith. Back to Pittman, now back over in the corner to Washington. Washington dribble drive, now kick off the left side wing to Gibson. Gibson, long, lanky guy, gets it in there low, puts it up, no good. Rebound fought for and controlled by Shamar Brown. Nice to see Shamar in there fighting with those big guys. No score, 19-10 to play in the first half. Each team's touched it one time on the offensive side of the floor. Pass up top to Brown. This lineup on the floor for ICC, they can really stretch you with all 5 guys. It's very guard-oriented. 4 guards around the one big guy, Shamar Brown, but Brown can step out there with you as well. Shot up by Hobson, no good. Brown fights for the rebound, but he stepped out of bounds.
Well, Jordan, we saw a good first game. Our Lady Indians came up 5 points short. Give East Mississippi Lady Lions credit. They will host the tournament. We believe that's going to happen. We think it will happen. We're not 100% sure. But they won the ball game, and we got a good one here starting off. No score here early in the first half.
Good movement on the offensive end for EMCC. Got 2 good looks at it, but couldn't finish. Now 3-on-2 out in transition. Here comes Doolittle. Drives the lane, puts it up left side. No good. Rebound fought for, and they're going to say jump ball as Hobson and Gibson Jr. both had their hands on it. I guess they're going to say jump ball, but EMCC got the opening tip, and now they're getting the basketball. Okay, we did get the, so okay. It's all straight. ICC ended up with the opening tip. So the jump ball does go to EMCC. Ball out top of the key. 3-point up from Gibson. It's off the front iron, no good. Rebound hits Doolittle almost right in the chin. He's able to rebound it though for a second time. And then he'll walk the basketball up the floor. So no score, 18 minutes to play, scoreless. Each team's had it on the offensive end 3 times. Hobson being guarded by Smith. Gives off to Carlton, now to Champ. Champ leads the team in 3-point shooting on the year. Drawing a start tonight. Shamar Brown for 3 off the wing. Got hit late, but no foul call. Off the back iron, no good. And rebound goes to Pittman. Pittman up the floor in a hurry to Washington. Washington in the corner. Now back to Pittman. Trying to get it down low. Ball trapped. Got it loose, though. Swing it across the set. Pull up 3 there. Is in it. Rattles around and goes down for Rico Gibson Jr. So first scoring of the night is that wasn't Gibson, that was Ja'Cory Smith. I saw the 3. I gave it to Gibson. Instead, that was Ja'Cory Smith. Smith, leading scorer, only a freshman out of Raymond High School, as we mentioned, leads EMCC at almost 16 points per game. Pass deflected. Champ runs it down, and now back to Doolittle. Doolittle gives back to Champ off right side, now the corner to Carlton. Carlton with it, goes to work towards the lane, gives back to Doolittle. 1 second on the shot clock, pulls up off the iron, no good, and rebound is controlled by Rico Gibson. Now Gibson brings it up the floor. And, you know, we talked the other night about when Northeast was in town, the length they had across the board. We had not seen EMCC at that point. I'm thinking EMCC may have just as much length as Northeast
They've got
had.
some length, there's no doubt about it.
Long and lanky all the way across the board. They look like they got a 2-guard set out there. It looks like Washington and Pittman are the only 2 guards. Everybody else is built like a forward. It's a nice cut down low as Carlton, but he has it wrestled away by Pittman. Pittman tried to go coast to coast. He does it off the right side. Good lay-in. Coach Grant Pate's going to burn a timeout as ICC trails 5-0, 16-17 to play in the first half. We'll take that timeout and be back with more right after this. This is ICC Basketball on the ICC Sports Network.
This broadcast of ICC Athletics is being brought to you by Renaissance Bank, Little Caesars, Davis Ford, the Sonic of Fulton, Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works, the Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi, First American National Bank, the ICC BSU, your Itawamba County Farm Bureau agent, Joey Cox, Cagle Eye Center, the ICC Foundation, the Bank of Okolona, and the ICC Alumni Association.
ICC inbounds the basketball. Brandon Brown checked into the game. He comes up the floor to Shamar Brown. Had him in a 2-on-1 set, but don't take advantage. Back out top to Brandon Brown. And Brown was really about halfway through the season where the offense was struggling. He slid over into that point guard role, and it's been a different look for the Indians since then. Nice pass down low by Shamar Brown. Brown, I guess when I've got a couple Browns on the floor, I got to specify. Brandon Brown finishes it off the left side window. In and good. The Renaissance bank shot for Brandon Brown. Back down the floor, not a very good look for EMCC. Ball rolls around on the floor, rebounded by the Lions. They get it back but can't finish. And ICC's got it out and running. Brown straight down the lane, lots of contact, whistle and a foul, and they're going to get EMCC for the foul there.
Jordan, you're right. Brandon Brown's made a big difference in our men's basketball team this year. He's a big point guard, 6'5", 200 pounds. Really made a big run, big difference here in the second half of the season. Foul goes against Danny Washington. First foul call of the first half for either team. They're going to say he wasn't shooting there, so it's going to be a floor on the foul. A foul on the floor, excuse me. So ICC will inbound it up top. Brandon Brown has it, and they'll reset on the offensive end. A 2-3 zone to look off the inbound pass for EMCC.
Antoine Porter also into the game for ICC. As Hobson with it, 8 seconds on the shot clock, gives to Brown. A no-look pass down low for Doolittle. He goes up and under and finishes it. A nice pass there leads it to Doolittle, who goes up and under and is able to finish nicely for the Indians.
Great assist by Brandon Brown. Cuts the lead 5-4. Indians up. Excuse me, 5-4. The Lions up. 15 minutes left in the first half.
So it was a 5-0 lead for EMCC. Now 4 unanswered for ICC. Has cut it back to a 1-point game. Pull up 3, rattles around, now falls finally off the front irons. I thought that thing was going to have some eyes and roll in there for Danny Washington, but nonetheless falls off the front iron, no good. EMCC going to stay committed to this 2-3 zone here. As they went to it off the out-of-bounds play, but they've stuck with it for this possession. Brown back to Smith. Smith over in the corner to Doolittle as ICC swings the ball on the offensive end. Back across the set to Brown. Brown tries to fire one in low, and it's knocked loose by Khan Ajang. Ajang's that big presence in the low, 6'9", 200 out of the South Sudan. He knocked that one loose. It led to an offensive possession with Gibson driving the lane. He's fouled as he approaches the rim. Foul will go on Tyler Smith. Smith also into the game. That is his first personal, also first foul to go against ICC. So that turnover bug kind of biting ICC a little bit here early on, Jim.
No doubt about it. We've had 3 quick turnovers. In and out. First free throw.
First free throw from Gibson Jr. In and out, as you mentioned. This is an interesting team to look at from East Mississippi. They have 5 sophomores on the roster, but 5 freshmen in the starting lineup.
That's right. That's right.
That's led them to a 15-6 record on the year, 8-2 in division. That second free throw is up and good, and off the made free throw, EMCC is going to go into their full court press. This has been where ICC's had some issues. They backtrack into the corner, able to get it loose. Brandon Brown up the floor, finds Antoine Porter by himself, but Ajang gets in there, closes out on defense. A nice job by the big fella to close in late. Now shot out of a cannon, up the floor comes Pittman. Pittman kicks out. Now they're going to reset on the offensive end as Dante Powers has checked in. He has the ball, and he slid a foot, got away with a walk, gives back to Pittman, and Pittman drives the lane and finishes with the left hand. That's the perfect example of defense leading to offense. As ICC looked like they had the press broken, but Ajang got in there and closed out, and that just led to points. As the press has forced another turnover. No-look pass, in under the goal, another quick point for Rico Gibson, and another timeout for Coach Grant Pate as EMCC scored 4 quick points and expanded that lead to 10-4. 10-4, EMCC leads, 13:39 to play in the first half. This is ICC basketball on the ICC Sports Network.
Ever since you got that license, you haven't stopped moving forward. Now that you're older and on the move, you need a safer place to keep your money. We get it. A student checking account frees you up with things like mobile check deposit to take care of that check from grandma without having to stop at a bank. Pay with your phone when you're out with friends. And stop worrying about ATM fees. We'll pay you back for those. Worry about your future, not your money. And know that we'll stick with you wherever you go. Renaissance Bank, understanding you. Member FDIC.
$10-4, EMCC leads, 13:39 to play here in the first half. Excuse me, as we were talking there about the size of this EMCC team and the trouble that can present, not only on the defensive end, but also on the offensive end when they slash it and get the ball all the way there to the rim. As they started a 5'11" and a 6'1" at guard, but then a wing guy at 6'6", a power forward at 6'6", and then the big fella there in the middle, Connor Jang, at 6'9", so plenty of length. Definitely far more length than anybody ICC's got to run out there and match it with. So you got to get creative what you're going to do on both ends of the floor when they're able to run that kind of length out there at you. 15 seconds on the shot clock. Brandon Brown, top of the key, kicks off left side. Tyler Smith, who dribbles it right off in there in the middle of it. Jump ball, and ICC will hold possession. 10 seconds on the shot clock, so got to be efficient with your offense here on the out-of-bounds play. Ball comes into Brandon Brown. Off the wing, brings back towards the top, goes to Madarius Hobson. Hobson into the corner to Tyler Smith. 2 seconds on the shot clock. Hobson pulls up from 3 and it goes.
Nice.
Well, not a great look there, not necessarily what you were looking for off the out-of-bounds play, but he drills it home with a hand in his face and cuts the lead back to 3.
Good shot by Hobson. stop the bleeding a little bit here. We're only down by 3. 12:56 left in the first half.
Ball goes down low, knocked loose, a whistle and a foul, and it looked like a lot of ball right there, but they're going to say got him on the hand as the ball came in low, and the worst part about that is that's the second one on Tyler Smith. He's probably going to have to come off the floor. So Smith does come off. We'll see substitution Ranch Champ back onto the floor. He started on the night here on sophomore night. The sophomore at Shannon High School was in the starting lineup. He's back out there now with 12:52 to play in the first half. ICC trails by 3. Inbound pass all the way out top to Dante Powers. Powers, the sophomore out of Starkville, works off a screen back to his left. Gives to Ja'Cory Smith. Smith off to Danny Washington, who pulls up for 3. Excuse me, that's KJ Riley that's subbed in there. Riley, the sophomore out of South Haven, knocks home his first bucket of the night, and EMCC back out to a 6-point lead.
13-7, 12:25 left in the first half. It's Jordan Mitchell, lines up by 6.
We've played less than 8 minutes of action, Jim, and we've seen 3 different defensive sets. You probably could even say 4 different sets from EMCC. They went 2-3 zone, now a 3-2 zone. Don't see that very often. We've also seen that full court press where they trap the basketball, and also a bit of a man-to-man defense in the half court as well, as Hobson gets the ball on the low block. It's going to be fouled, and he'll go to the line for 2. That foul on Ja'Cory Smith, and that's one guy you'd like to see getting some foul trouble there. Smith, the freshman, leads them with 15.9 points per game. ICC has shot the free throws pretty well on the year, but Hobson's first one rattles around no good. 70.2% on the year from the stripe. Compare that to EMCC, they shoot it just a tick over 67%. So neither team just a great foul shooter, but you know, you can take 70%, that's decent. As we're going to take a look at the foul. Well, he's going to change the foul. He's going to move it over to 25. But he definitely motioned 23 when he came to the scorer's table. But the issue is 23 is not on the floor.
I was going to say, I don't see him on the court.
I think that's what EMCC coach Billy Begley was mentioning was, you know, you can't call it on my guy that's not even out there. So they do get that shored up and correct.
You know, Begley has a pretty good point there.
Yeah, that's a battle that it's hard to win that battle with officials sometimes, but if the guy's on the floor, you're typically gonna win that one. His 3-point shot up off the wing, no good, and a nice rebound, and they're fighting for it. Is Trevante Doolittle. Up the floor in the hurry is Brandon Brown. Gives off to Champ, now asks for it back. Now Champ out of the corner, thinks about it, gives back to Brown, swings the floor to Doolittle off the other side of the wing. Hobson now straight up with the basket, 15 seconds on the shot clock. Gives to Doolittle off the left side wing. Still looking for a pass to go in low in the post. Haven't had one of the whole possession. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Swing back to Doolittle. Doolittle in the corner. Goes off inside to Hobson. No look pass to finish it with Antoine Porter off the glass. Give it Madarius Hobson the assist and the bucket to Porter. That was good motion on the offensive end. You know, at times the offense feels like it gets stagnant and doesn't move the ball very well. Settles for some bad shots. That time you moved it around till there was about 3 seconds on the shot clock and got a good look at the end.
Good look, great pass by Hobson also.
3-point up out of the corner, and it hits the bottom of the net right there for Romeo Sanders. Romeo Sanders, the 6'3", 180 freshman, seeing some action. And kind of like we talked about with Coach Porter in the women's game for ICC earlier, Coach Begley's going to that bench early and often here tonight. Back to a 7-point lead for EMCC. That matches their longest lead of the night, largest lead of the night, that is. 10:38 to play in the first half. Champ from way downtown off the front iron, no good. Rebound is into the hands of Rico Gibson Jr., knocked loose by Hobson out of bounds, and EMCC will have the basketball. Substitution for ICC is Doolittle subs out. Carlton back onto the floor. Same 5 out there for EMCC. Double screen up top. ICC gets through it, fights into a double team. Now Brandon Brown up the floor is going to easily lay it in off the right side, but a nice job of trapping the basketball up top with Hobson. Knocked it loose from Dante Powers, and then Brandon Brown could take it from there.
Good job, defense. A little double team pressure, lost the ball. Cut to 5, 16-11, 10 minutes left in the first half.
Screen gives Powers the left side, switch with Porter now covering him as the ball goes to the right. A walk right there. Yeah, you're not going to get away with that one. He's one of those bigger guys, Rico Gibson Jr., the 6'6" freshman out of Memphis. Moved that pivot foot before he put the ball on the floor, and that's an easy walk call. Just about any time you do that, they're going to get you for it. So ICC trails by 5, chance to cut into that lead again here on this possession. Back into that 3-2 zone as they switch it around. ICC's trying to move everyone back and forth. Switch the basketball from one side to the other and then try to get it into the teeth like they did a couple possessions ago with Hobson. Entry pass comes to Porter. Porter tries to go up and under. They're going to say stepped out of bounds. Turnover. An EMCC ball. As we mentioned earlier, Jim, not just necessarily a great crowd here tonight. EMCC brought a pretty good contingent as students were out of class here on the campus of ICC today due to President's Day. Not all of them have come back. The band not in attendance either. But at the end of the day, not a terrible crowd with those things considered.
Still got people coming into the gymnasium.
2-3 zone set for ICC. Dribble drive, whistle, foul. That'll be a charge against EMCC. Nice job. I believe that was Champ that time of taking that charge, getting in front, sliding those feet over. That foul will go against Rico Gibson Jr., his first personal, third for EMCC. As after the pace kind of got out of control for ICC a little bit early on, ICC's done a better job of calming things down with Brandon Brown in there as the point guard, and things on the offensive end have become a little bit more cyclical. Still is a strange look from EMCC as you don't see that 3-2 zone very often, especially in the men's game, but they've gone to it pretty exclusively here down the stretch in the first half. Carlton with it. 1 second on the shot clock, puts it up and in off the glass. Kendricus Carlton gets it in there in the teeth of that defense and uses that bank shot. Bank shot brought to you by Renaissance Bank. Gets it to go home and cut the lead to 3. 3-point up out of the corner. Back iron no good for KJ Riley. Rebound goes to ICC. Up the floor, under control comes Brown. Gives off to Carlton left, now back to Champ to the right. Champ tried to tie it up off the back iron, no good. Looked good out of the hand. Had the right angle, just off the back iron, too hard. And EMCC is going to slow things down and reset. Powers into the teeth of the defense, pulls up off the logo, rolls around to the iron, no good, and rebound goes to Brandon Brown. Brown up the floor in a hurry, going to fire off down low to Hobson, who pulls up from 8 feet. It rolls around and going to roll right out. My goodness, that thing went halfway down.
Thought that was going down. 16-13, Lions up, 7:50 left in the first half.
EMCC led it 5-0, then ICC got back into it with 4 quick points. Then it's been kind of everything EMCC did. ICC's had an answer, but ICC's not been able to get it back to an all-square score. Dribble drive in low for KJ Riley, puts it in off the glass, no good. But he is fouled by Antoine Porter and will go to the line. That's the first break in action it feels like in a while.
No doubt about it. Up and down, up and down.
And both teams are going to go mass substitutions, it looks like here. There's lots of bodies at the scorer's table. As the first free throw from Riley is up and good. ICC will check in Tyler Smith and Trevante Doolittle. For EMCC, they will check in big fella Kana Zhang, as well as Danny Washington, Tremont Pittman. They got one more guy waiting to come in, so presumably you would think that would be for KJ Riley. Second free throw from Riley's rolls off the iron, no good, so he's going to have to stay in there till the next dead ball.
He didn't want to come out, evidently.
17-13, EMCC leads it, 7:30 to play in the first half. Brown with the basketball, defended by Danny Washington. Goes off in the corner, trying to get the ball to Doolittle, and it's picked off. Now up the floor in a hurry to Washington. He gets in there, tries to draw a foul, throws it all the way off the top of the goal, no good, and here comes ICC. They got numbers. Brown down the floor, takes it right in the teeth and lays it up with the right hand off the left side. That's what Coach Payton was talking about in the huddle over here a minute ago, is take it to those guys right there in the teeth. Make them foul you. That's what BB did right there, is he took it right in there and laid it up.
Jordan, we got a 2-point game here with 7 minutes left in the first half.
Feels like EMCC has controlled the pace, but you look up at the scoreboard and ICC's right there in the thick of things. Swing the ball around, a bit of that motion offense again here from EMCC as they try to put up that floater in there. No good. Rebound is fought for. There's going to be a whistle and a foul on the rebound, and they're going to get Hobson for it. Foul is going to go against Hobson as we see KJ Riley now finally able to check out of the game. Ja'Cory Smith comes back in, so an extended breather there for Ja'Cory Smith, leading scorer on the year for EMCC. Bit of a give and go there off the inbound for Danny Washington. Washington, though, thinks better of the three, drives it in there, then kicks out wide to Gibson, whose three is no good. Rebound to Brandon Brown. And Brandon Brown has to have about 10 rebounds here in the first half. Still that same defensive set as we talked about for EMCC's. Hobson with the ball on the wing, gives off to Smith. Smith's going to put it on the floor, did a dribble off there in the paint, gives off to Brown. 6 seconds on the shot clock, fights in there through some contact off the glass and makes it go home again. Brandon Brown is doing exactly what Coach Pate talked about. He's taking it into the teeth, trying to draw a foul. Didn't get the call there, but he finished it anyway. And Jim, don't look now, but we're all square.
Good job of Brandon Brown. Listen to the coach. He said attack him, and he did attack him.
17 all, 5:56 to play here in the first half as ICC trying to hold on to that 4th position in the division and get their way into that state tournament. As penetration there down the lane with Tremont Pittman. Missed the shot, foul on the rebound. It's going to go against Pittman, and ICC's got the ball. So we'll kind of reset things as far as the MACJC North standings go. Northeast up top, they're at 20-1 on the year, 9-1 in division. Trailing right behind is East Mississippi. East Mississippi at 15-6. They're 8-2 in division play. But there's still a big matchup between the two of them, I believe, on Thursday.
It is, Thursday night.
That will definitely have a say in what happens in the north part of the division. So that's at the top. ICC's fighting for that 4th spot. They're at 5-5. As up the floor we go, they went for the alley-oop. It was not good on the dunk, but it stayed on the rim and rolled around and in for Rico Gibson. As that's where they hurt you, is out in transition as EMCC takes the lead back. But looking back here at the standings, ICC 5-5 in division play, Holmes at 4-6. So essentially the two of them are jockeying for that 4th position behind Northeast, East Mississippi, and Northwest. As we take a look at the scoreboard, Holmes leading 18-16 with 10 minutes to go in the first half. So Holmes ahead early on. That would get the two teams back towards all square if Holmes is able to hold on and win that one tonight.
Brandon Brown just hit a 3. He leads the team with 11 points. Indians up by 1 with 4:45 left in the first half.
So back and forth we go, and East Mississippi just threw that one about 3 rows deep. As Danny Washington tried to swing it all the way to the other side of the floor, and his guy simply was not there, and it hit 2 rows deep in the stands. So ICC will finish up the year, or the regular season, on Thursday night at Holmes, correct?
That's correct.
So the matchup there for the 4th spot could come all the way down to Thursday night as ICC tries to jockey and get their way into playoff action. 15 seconds on the shot clock for Hobson. Pulls up from 3 straight on. Back iron no good, and rebound for Rico Gibson. Gibson keeps it himself up the floor, and he's going to lose it, and that's going to be a backcourt violation. As Trevante Doolittle was right there. Gibson, you know, that's a stretch where you may be trying to do too much on your own. The 6'6", 190 freshman, he's not your best ball handler. He's not really who you want with it out at the top of the key, and there, the pressure gets to him, and he loses it, and that's a turnover. Shermontis Mitchell onto the floor for ICC. So we'll reset the lineup out there for Coach Grant Pate's Indians. It's Kendricus Carlton, Trevante Doolittle, Rance Champ, Shermontis Mitchell, and Antoine Porter for ICC. Mitchell has it out top, being covered by Ja'Cory Smith. Starts to his right, gives off to Rance Champ. Champ being covered by Powers, gives over to Rodarian Pendleton, that's not Pendleton, excuse me, that's Carlton, as they went down low to Mitchell, and Mitchell got fouled on the entry pass. You can tell that's what Coach Pate wants to do, is he wants to take the ball down low. EMCC's only been called for 5 fouls through the first 16 minutes. He wants to take it to him, try to get him in some foul trouble. You know, you're not going to win the size advantage. You can't grow 4 inches here tonight.
No doubt about it.
But it's one thing you can do is take it at him and try to get him in some foul trouble. Carlton gives the basketball off to Doolittle. Champ, 10 seconds on the shot clock, and he's got 1 too many steps before he got the shot up. A traveling call on Rance Champ.
Jordan, is 3:45 left in the halftime. The lines are up, the Indians up 20-19.
So 1 point advantage for ICC. Under 4 to play in the first half. Gibson gives off to Smith. Smith gets it in there in the lane, puts it up off the right hand. And what an impressive play there from Ja'Cory Smith, as he had a foot on the free throw line and just kind of lofted it up there and babied it in with one hand and got it to go and gives EMCC back the lead at 21-20. 3:20 to play in the first half. Well, you could see where the speed and athleticism ICC has out there with those 5 guards could give EMCC some trouble, as ICC definitely looks to have the athleticism advantage due in part to the size of the guys they got out there. I mean, basically they got 5 guards out there. As Carlton puts a shot up, count the basket as Kendricus Carlton draws the foul. as he got Enrico Gibson Jr. up in the air, and somehow he got the thing to go home.
Great job by Carlton. Got a chance for the old-fashioned three-point play. We took the lead 22-21. 3 minutes at halftime. Could stretch it to 2 points here with a free throw.
And that's 2 fouls on Gibson, so he's going to come off the floor. You would think probably the end of the first half for Enrico Gibson Jr. He comes off. KJ Riley back out there for Coach Billy Begley's Lions. Carlton to the line, trying to finish up the three-point play. Cannot convert. Front iron, no good. The MCC has it, trailing again by 1 point. Basketball still out top, 15 seconds to go on the shot clock. Comes down low to Smith in the paint. Gives off, gives it back to Smith. Ball knocked loose, and Carlton has it out front. Watch out, here he comes. He tries to throw it down, and he does once again. Kendrickus Carlton throws it down. A spark plug from Kendrickus Carlton as the ball got knocked loose, and the 5'11 sophomore on sophomore night from Batesville throws one down and then forces a turnover on the defensive end.
Good job by Carlton, bringing the energy. We've stretched the lead. We've got a 3-point lead, 2:23 until half, and we have the basketball.
Big play there for Carlton on the offensive end, and an even better play on defense as he stays right on his man, forces that travel call, and ICC leads by 3 and has the basketball. Doolittle with the ball, 15 seconds on the shot clock as he gives off Champ left side. Back up top to Doolittle as, again, they're trying to get it down there in the teeth of the defense, trying to draw a foul, trying to make EMCC work down low as they've kicked it around the perimeter for the first 27 seconds of the shot clock. Mitchell has it, pulls up for 3, turns, fires an air ball. It landed in the arms of Antoine Porter, but it was as the shot clock ran out, and EMCC takes it over after the shot clock violation. So ICC going to sit back now into that half court. Not really a man-to-man defense, as they look like they want to trap it if they get the opportunity. There's a wild pass out top. Somehow Powers caught it. They got it down low to Riley. Riley's wild shot off the right side went up, but Smith fights in there, gets the rebound, ball knocked around, and finally Ranch Champ ends up with it. Bodies flying everywhere as he throws it behind his back to Doolittle. Doolittle up the floor in a hurry. Now things calm back down. Champ going to try to drive the lane, and he loses it. Here comes Smith. Smith up the left side, gets in there, fights through some contact, and finger rolls it right in front of the rim. So back to a 1-point lead for ICC. 1 minute, 10 seconds to play in the first half. Still into that 3-2 zone set. Coach Begley trusting the length he's got and knowing he's got a size advantage down low, trying to make life difficult out beyond the perimeter for the Indians. Doolittle off the screen, had a gap but lost the basketball. So back-to-back turnovers, and here comes EMCC. Into the lane with Dante Powers. He lost the ball, but his own man was there to help him out. Now back to Powers. 22nd on the shot clock, jump stop in the lane off the block on the left side, and he lays it in and good. And just like that, 2 quick turnovers, and EMCC's taking back the lead at 25-24. 30 seconds to play, 27 seconds on the shot clock, so about a 2 to 3 second differential between the two. You would expect ICC going to try to hold it for one last shot right here. Porter with the ball out top, gives to Carlton. 13 seconds, reads the shot clock. Skip pass into the corner to Antoine Porter, who pulls up for 3, and it goes home for Antoine Porter. He has an open look there. EMCC back with the basketball, though. Got to get back on defense. 5 seconds, pull-up shot off the elbow, no good. Rebound goes to ICC, and Dante Powers' shot was no good, and that's a good end to the half for ICC. As ICC took the lead, they gave it away, but they get it right back, and will go into the halftime break. They'll head to the locker room up 27-25. We'll take a break. We'll come back here with the Little Caesars halftime report. We'll give you the Sonic stats, and we'll recap everything that happened for you here in the first half. This is ICC basketball on the ICC Sports Network.
Get a Little Caesars large, extra most bestest stuffed crust pizza, topped with pepperoni and cheese, and stuffed with over 3 feet of cheese in the crust. That's right, we stuffed cheese into the crust of the pizza with extra cheese and the most pepperoni, all at the nation's best price of just $9. Try our convenient app and Pizza Portal pickup.
Pizza, pizza.
This broadcast of ICC Athletics is being brought to you by Renaissance Bank, Little Caesars, Davis Ford, the Sonic of Fulton, Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works, the Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi, First American National Bank, the ICC BSU, your Itawamba County Farm Bureau agent, Joey Cox, Cagle Eye Center, the ICC Foundation, the Bank of Okolona, and the ICC Alumni Association.
Car Hop Classic for just $2.99 is the perfect 1-2 punch of flavor and value.
Time that!
You need a trainer to help you eat the burger?
Hey, stay out of this.
Don't get in my head, man. There's barely room for me in there.
Hurry in and try quarter-pound double cheeseburger or 6-inch Philly plus tots for $2.99.
My mom never let me eat this much cookie dough.
What would she say if she saw you eating this big scoop cookie dough blast?
I don't know. Why ask her?
Don't tell your father.
Oh, naughty, naughty.
Hurry in and scoop up our new cookie dough treats. Try order ahead to get happy hour anytime.
Got a good one on our hands here tonight on the floor of the Davis Event Center. 27-25, ICC leads EMCC at the halftime break. As we talked with Adam Gore, who's over here producing our broadcast for us tonight. Adam, glad to have you with us here. He said that a couple of weeks ago down in Scuba that the game was a carbon copy of what it's been here in the first half tonight, except the end of the first half was in the opposite favor. Was EMCC forced some turnovers, took the lead there by 2 at the end of the first half, and then went on to win by 9 points, I believe, in that contest down there in Scuba.
Well, maybe this is a good omen. We'll win by 9 in this game.
That's fine with me.
That'd be great.
That's fine with me, as this is the Little Caesars halftime report. We'll break down the recap of the first half as you enjoy those highlights from the first half there. And there certainly was a few of them, and I could think of one from Kendricus Carlton for sure, as the 5'11 sophomore again tried to break the rim off for about the 4th or 5th time this year here on the floor of the Davis Event Center. As Jim, we talk about the first half here, and it was kind of back and forth. The first 10 minutes really belonged to EMCC. They gave a different look to ICC defensively there, though, down the stretch, and ICC was able to capitalize by really doing exactly what Coach Pate had talked about after he burned 2 timeouts early, and that was take it to the teeth of them, make them fight you. We know they're longer. We know they have the athletic ability, but take it in there and make them foul you and prove that you can get in there and fight with them. And ICC did that and took the lead.
They did a good job, Jordan. And he's right. You attack them. If you're right against the guy, they can't jump up and block the shot. If you get away from them, then their length can bother you. But we took a 27-25 lead. Looking at the stats here, Brandon Brown had a great first half, had 11 points. Hobson had 3, Porter had 5, Doolittle had 2, Carlton had 6. For the Lions, Powers had 2, Gibson had 5, Pittman 4, K.J. Riley had 4, Ja'Cory Smith, their outstanding forward, the 6'6 player, had 7. Sanders had 3. We actually had 9 turnovers. They only had 6. But we took control in the last 5 minutes at half, and that's when we got a 27-25 lead at half.
And that is the halftime stats during the Little Caesars halftime show, brought to you by Sonic. 27-25, ICC leads at the halftime break. We will take this break. We'll be back with second half action right after this. This is ICC basketball on the ICC Sports Network.
Get a Little Caesars large, extra most bestest stuffed crust pizza, topped with pepperoni and cheese, and stuffed with over 3 feet of cheese in the crust. That's right, we stuffed cheese into the crust of the pizza with extra cheese and the most pepperoni, all at the nation's best price of just $9. Try our convenient app and Pizza Portal pickup.
Pizza, pizza.
My burger goes best with mustard.
Ketchup and mustard.
Grass-fed beef.
No, corn-fed.
On the grill.
Now, flat top.
Iceberg lettuce.
Nah, arugula. Jalapeno.
No way. Avocados, dude.
Medium rare. Gotta be well done.
Brioche.
Sesame seeds.
American cheese.
Cheddar.
Can I have a turkey burger? What? Turkeys are for Thanksgiving, man. I like my burger with the Coke.
I'll agree to that.
Strictly with a Coke.
Only with the Coke.
Coke and a burger. Come on.
All right.
That's where you get the flavor.
First American National Bank is a local bank. Our 10 locations are right here in Northeast Mississippi. Banking decisions are made locally by people who live here. It's been that way for more than 50 years. Our involvement in the community is important to us. That's where our roots are. Technology, it changes daily, but our community is what keeps us together. If you like high-tech banking, we've got that too. Follow the flag to First American National Bank, from Iuka to Tupelo.
Davis Ford in Fulton is your Ford dealer for new cars, trucks, and SUVs and has a wide inventory of certified pre-owned vehicles. Find your next dream car or truck from our Ford showroom or go online to davisfordsales.com and search our new and used inventory to see what is on our lot. So stop by and test drive the all-new fuel-efficient Ford Focus or Ford Fusion or the new Ford Explorer or F-150. Go further with Davis Ford, 904 West Main Street in Fulton or online davisfordsales.com.
The longer a person has diabetes, the more likely they are to develop diabetic retinopathy. If left untreated, diabetic retinopathy can lead to blindness. That's why it's important for diabetics to have a comprehensive eye examination with dilation once a year. I'm Dr. Laurie Cagle of Cagle Eye Center in Fulton. We offer comprehensive eye exams to provide diagnosis and treatment of various eye diseases. Browse our large selection of frames available in prescription and non-prescription. Call to schedule your appointment today at Cagle Eye Center in Fulton.
Press conference today was great. It's wonderful when we can get the presidents together, leadership from the community colleges, but even more importantly, to have the governor standing there with us and have Governor Reeves sharing his thoughts about our focus and our efforts in workforce and how we can begin to move the needle for Mississippi and really make a true impact. You know, it's hard to imagine not funding Mississippi community colleges when you think about the fact that 75%, 3 out of 4 Mississippi Community College graduates stay and work in Mississippi. And when you also think about 93, 95% of our students are Mississippi residents. So we're doing the work of Mississippi and we are truly preparing tomorrow's workforce.
Well, we hope today that continued emphasis, continued awareness takes place about the great work that community colleges are doing. Also an awareness about the funding needs, the needs to continue to be able to provide workforce training dollars to assist students, but also academic and career technical students, but really showcasing the transformative work that community colleges play in the entire state of Mississippi.
It's amazing to watch in my 23 years experience in community colleges to see the impact it makes individually for students, that it really truly changes their lives through education. So many of our students come in with the end in mind, but there's others that don't quite know what they want to do, and we're able to put them on a path to a great career, whether that be through our career and technical programs or onto a university for a 4-year degree. But we are the beginning point and really the path that makes it possible because of our financial point. The fact that they can come in and not build a tremendous amount of debt or any debt at all and transfer on to finish that degree or go straight to the workforce. And we're so proud of our students and what they accomplish.
Student involvement is a top priority here at Itawamba Community College.
If you want to be involved with student government, then the Student Government Association is the place for you.
If you have a stellar GPA, then Phi Theta Kappa is for you.
If you're interested in the diverse culture of our campus population, then the Diversity Club is for you.
If you're interested in leadership and service, then Indian Delegation is for you.
If you're majoring in computer programming or computer networking, then CPNA, the Computer Programming Networking Association, is for you.
If you're interested in good conversations and free lunch on Thursdays, then the Wesley Foundation is for you.
Our health science programs also have specific organizations for those majors.
Student Activities is excited to bring you new opportunities here at the ICC Tupelo campus.
Whatever your passion may be, we have a place for you.
This video is brought to you by Phi Theta Kappa, Beta Chi Sigma, Tupelo campus.
Here, you can be your best. The best train here. Learn here. Succeed here. Perform here. Win here. Thrive here. Itawamba Community College. The best start here.
Back here inside the Davis Event Center as we get ready for second half action. ICC took a 27-25 lead into the break. Thanks for sticking with us through the Little Caesars halftime report. We're glad to have you back with us here for second half action. As same starting five for EMCC. A little bit different look for ICC than the game started with, as it's Tyler Smith, Antoine Porter, Madarius Hobson, Brandon Brown, and Trevante Doolittle, the five. The typical five starters there for ICC. As a quick three from EMCC is no good, and ICC has the basketball. Doolittle being guarded by Washington out front. Now gives off to Brown. Brown led all scorers with 11 points. Whistle and a foul, and Antoine Porter was standing out of bounds when he caught the basketball. Now there's turnovers and there's unforced turnovers, and that one's going to be an uber unenforced turnover. Half-court set as East Mississippi gets it into the lane. Now kicks out wide to Smith. Smith for three. Back iron no good. And good job blocking out there by Trevante Doolittle. Keeps his man out of the way for the long rebounds. Able to step in there and get it. So Brandon Brown, as we just said, leads all scorers at the halftime break. Didn't start for ICC, but has 11 points at the halftime break. He's out there with the ball. Gives to Porter. Porter back to Smith. Smith being covered by the big guy, Kana Zhang. It's spelled A-J-A-N-G, but it is pronounced Azang. Out of Juba, South Sudan. Genesis Prep School for the big fella. Bodies on the floor for EMCC. Ball comes in low, and Antoine Porter got one to roll around, and it popped out. My goodness, I didn't think there was any way that that one could not go down, but nonetheless it does, and here comes EMCC in a hurry. Washington thinks better about going down in there out of control, pops it back out to the circle, and resets the offense with 15 seconds. Off the screen for Smith, double teamed out wide, now back to Smith. Smith being covered by Doolittle. Takes both steps, puts it off the glass, no good. Rebound by Brandon Brown. And Jim, I'm going to be honest with you, Brandon Brown may have a double-double.
Brandon Brown's playing extremely well. Good defense and got another big rebound. You mentioned he had 10 rebounds, we think, in the first half.
He had plenty. I mean, to come off the bench and not play the first 5 minutes the way he did, he played exceptional there in the first half. Porter drives it in there among the big guy, and that's what you got to do. Drives it in there and gets a Zhang up in the air, lets him come down on top of him for the foul. That one will go against the Zhang. That will be, by my count, is only his first foul, though. I don't have him with any others.
I don't either.
That is his first foul. Team's first here in the second half.
The only player that's playing tonight that's got 2 fouls is Tyler Smith for the Indians.
I've got 2 for Gibson for EMCC.
Okay.
3. Rico Gibson.
Gotcha. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. First free throw from Porter up and no good. Here's the second one. It gets in there, so 1 of 2 off the line, and the ICC has their largest lead of the night at 3 points. Matches the lead they had in the first half. 18-10 to play as ICC is going to show a 2-3 zone. EMCC shoots it out wide at only 26%, and usually when you see those numbers for teams that struggle down there, you see those zones. You make them shoot you out of it. As Zhang had a look at it, couldn't finish, throws it right up in the air, and ICC's got it. Doolittle down the floor, throws up a prayer, no good. Hobson with a rebound, lots of contact, but it comes all the way back out top and resets. Great job by Madarius Hobson to get in there and fight away that rebound. So reset the shot clock. It's at 10 now as Doolittle tries to make something happen, gives off to Brown. Brown back to Hobson. Hobson takes it in there to the big guys again, working through contact, and he got him in the air, got him for another foul. Well, do you think Coach Pate talked about him taking the basketball to these big fellas at halftime, Jim?
No doubt, and we've talked about how smart Madarius Hobson is. His basketball IQ, he knows what to do. Undersized at 6'3", going up against guys 6'6", 6'7", 6'8", gets the foul called on them. Great job by Hobson.
So to the line for 2 goes Hobson as a Zhang with the second personal in the last 32 seconds. First free throw up and good. As a Zhang is going to sub off the floor, and they list him at 6'9", 200. But I'm telling you, you put about 25 to 30 more pounds on that frame, and he's going to be a force.
No doubt about it.
As only a freshman out of the South Sudan. He subs off, as well as Danny Washington comes off. Dante Powers back into action for EMCC. Second free throw from Hobson up, and it is good as well. So perfect off the line is Madarius Hobson, and ICC now largest lead of the night at 5 points. Now here's another new look, a 1-3-1 set. ICC looking to trap the basketball up top as Pittman with it, gives off to Powers left side. ICC is now going to set back into a 2-3 after that 1-3-1 is broken. 12 seconds on the shot clock. Trying to get the ball down low. Good ball movement as it ends up with Powers. Now swings back across the floor to Gibson, who drives baseline, puts up, and is able to make it go home. Nice movement on the offensive end. Nice motion for EMCC as ICC switch defenses.
The first 2 points of the second half. 16:55 left in the ball game. Indians up by 3.
Kind of keeping eyes on that Holmes and Northwest score. All square at the halftime break, 32 apiece. As ICC jockeying for that 4th position, trying to make their way into the state playoffs. Whistle and a travel as Tyler Smith had it off the low block, and they said he got backing down before he put the ball on the floor. Travel call, gives it back to EMCC as that turnover will go against the Indians. So 3-point lead for ICC, but EMCC's got a chance to cut it to 1 or even tie up on this trip down. 2-3 set for ICC. They're playing it out wide, though. They're not giving them anything easy, not letting them just throw it around and have good, easy looks. That easily could have been a walk there on Pittman. Nonetheless, he gives it off to Powers, and Powers is able to rattle home a 3 and tie this thing up.
30 apiece, 16-10 left in the ball game.
Pass all the way up the floor to Porter. Shot is blocked from behind and ends up in EMCC's hands. Well, it was the right thought. He had a good look at it, but needed one more pass in the 2-on-1 set. Now another 3, rattled that one home. A big momentum shift right there as Ja'Cory Smith hits a 3. So back-to-back possessions, 3-point shots knocked down by Dante Powers and Ja'Cory Smith give the lead back to EMCC at 33-30 with 15:54 remaining in the contest. We'll take a break and be back after this ICC basketball on ICC Sports Network.
This broadcast of ICC Athletics is being brought to you by Renaissance Bank, Little Caesars, Davis Ford, the Sonic of Fulton, Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works, the Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi, First American National Bank, the ICC BSU, your Itawamba County Farm Bureau agent, Joey Cox, Cagle Eye Center, the ICC Foundation, the Bank of Okolona, and the ICC Alumni Association.
(33-30) EMCC leads, 15:50 to play, Jim, as EMCC goes back into this full court press, and this has been the look that's given the biggest issue tonight to ICC. As they try to go alley-oop, Champ tries to get it up there to Smith. Pass was too high, couldn't throw it down. They lose the basketball, and here come the Lions. 3-point bucket up, this one no good off the back iron. Hobson with the long rebound. Hobson up the floor, gives off to Champ. Champ wanted to pull that 3 from the timeline out there, but decided he wouldn't do it. Gives back to Doolittle, but that press defense has been the one thing that's kind of got ICC out of rhythm.
It has hurt us, and right now East Mississippi's on the 8-0 run. We need to stop the bleeding here. We're only down by 3, need a basket.
Brown with the basketball, 5 seconds on the shot clock, gives back 45 feet away from the basket to Tronte Doolittle. 2 seconds, pulls up from 3, and it misses everything. No good, shot clock violation, and the momentum has swung all the way back over to EMCC.
15:01 left in the ball game. Lines up 33-30.
As we'll see, Romeo Sanders back onto the floor. Played a couple minutes in the first half, but not a ton of action for Sanders, the freshman out of Caledonia. He is out there with 14:50 to play. EMC leading by 3. They go to work on the offensive end. Ja'Cory Smith goes right, turns back left, tries to finish left hand, can't get it to go, and rebound for Brandon Brown. Well, a good look for Smith, can't make it go. As Smith, another one of those guys, only a freshman, but looks and plays well beyond his years. He's very in control and knows what he's doing, knows how to use his size advantage on the offensive end. His whistle and a walk against Tyler Smith. Tyler's struggling putting the ball on the floor right now.
Indians have 12 turnovers. East Mississippi only has 6 turnovers.
So that could possibly be a number we look back at the postgame show, is those turnovers, when that differential starts to vary like that. Typically that means more possessions for one team than the other, and East Mississippi so far here in the second half definitely has had the most possessions. ICC led by as much as 5 here in the second half, but currently EMCC up by 3. Alley-oop, throws it down. It's a nice lob pass there from Smith. Lands in the hands of Gibson, who came all the way out of the corner, and he rattled the rim. Trap out wide, and it's going to end up in the hands of EMCC. Whistle and a foul. They're going to say a foul on the floor, and I have no idea who it's on. It's on Rance Champ. They're going to say Champ got a hold of EMCC, grabbed him down. Coach Begley's fighting for an intentional foul. I don't think there was anything intentional there. It was a smart foul by Champ because it was a 4-on-1. They were about to tear the rim off the goal. But nonetheless, it will send Quamonte Monfort to the free throw line. Well, now they're going to say foul on the floor. So confusion all around. Now they're going to say, yes, foul on the floor. They're going to inbound the ball. And the EMCC has nobody there to throw it in. Finally, they get somebody there, and they throw it in and get the basketball in with Dante Powers. Ball screen off the left side for Powers. He rolls left, now comes back across the middle, and a whistle and another foul. We're going to get Brandon Brown this time. Brown's saying he's pushing off, and officials trying to describe what's going on, but Brown's not going to win that one. First foul on Brandon for second team foul here in the second half. Reset the shot clock to 20 for EMCC. Had a guy flash wide open down the lane. Didn't get the ball there, but it comes up top for 3. And Dante Powers knocks it home, and EMCC now leads by 8. Quick pass way up the floor to Rance Champ, who's in a trap situation. Gets the ball off to Brandon Brown, who attacks it in there. Lots of contact. Ball comes loose. Ends up in the hands of Madarius Hobson. Back iron, whistle, foul, and they're going to get Brandon Brown again, I think, here. Yep, another one against Brandon.
Jordan, they're on a 13-0 run here. We hadn't scored since it was 30-25. 38-30 lines up 8.
ICC led it 27-25 at the halftime break. They expanded their lead to 5 at 30-25 early in the second half. But from that point on, as you mentioned, a 13-0 run for EMCC, and they've taken back an 8-point lead with 13:25 to play in the contest. On the floor for ICC, Carlton and Doolittle up top as the guards in the 2-3 zone. The forwards will be Rance Champ and Madarius Hobson, and the center guy in the middle right there is Shamar Brown. Pull up 3, this one good as well for Romeo Sanders. And you know, we talked earlier about how they had to try to shoot ICC out of that 2-3 zone. Well, they're pretty darn close to doing it. Straight up the floor comes Champ. He lays it in and cuts back into the lead. But still a 9-point advantage for EMCC. It's 3 consecutive possessions. EMCC's drilled home a 3.
Good job, Adam Gore caught that.
Trying to drive it in here low this time. Shamar Brown got a hand on the basket, but too late. Esquimante Monfort's able to finish it with the left hand, and suddenly EMCC has found all the offense they could want. 43-32, so ICC went to leading by 5 to trailing by 11 quickly. 12:30 to play in the game. Madarius Hobson with the basketball up top of the key, directing traffic, looking for somewhere to go. Gives to Champ. Champ comes back to his right, gives to Carlton straight up. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Doolittle now over to Brown in the corner. Brown's going to pull up from the three-point line. Back iron, no good. Rebound into the arms of Kendricus Carlton, and they're going to call a foul on Kendricus Carlton. My goodness. Looked to me like Carlton was blocked out pretty well. They're going to say he hooked him, I guess. First foul on Kendricus, 4th team foul for ICC, but those 4 fouls have all come what feels like in the last 2 minutes. EMCC has an opportunity to be more patient on the offensive end, run that motion set like they like to. It's a 4-guard set with 1 forward in there. Had a slasher to the rim wide open, and Danny Washington decided not to give there. Pass goes in low, now kicked off into the corner. Here comes Riley, attacks the lane, puts up right hand, no good. Put back, no good. Now ICC has it out in transition. Carlton up the floor, gives to Doolittle, thinks about an extra pass. Ball is knocked loose. It's saved there by Romeo Sanders for EMCC. Sanders spins around, now gets it back up top to Powers, who dribble drives in there, off to Washington. Washington backs out, back to Powers, now they reset. 18 seconds on the shot clock. As Powers dribbles in, now step back 3 for Powers. It rattles around, no good. That one looked like it was going to go down too, though. So cleared rebound from ICC. Reverse the floor. They say as Rance Champ catches it, he's standing out of bounds. That's about the 3rd time tonight ICC's caught it with a foot out of bounds.
It's hurting us, Jordan. Now we're up to 16 turnovers here in this ball game. We're down by 11, 43-32, 11 minutes, 10 seconds left in the ball game.
So I had 9 turnovers in the first half. That's 7 turnovers through the first 8 minutes and some change of the second half. Obviously not the formula you're looking for to stay in a basketball game that you were leading at the half. 10 seconds on the shot clock for EMCC. 4 guys around the perimeter as Powers puts up a 3. No good. Rebound to Shamar Brown. Doolittle up the floor. Sets up the offense off to the corner to Kendricus Carlton. Carlton wants to get the ball down low to Hobson and couldn't get it there. Hobson visibly frustrated down low. He wanted the basketball. Felt like he had some position, but they didn't go down low. Again, he's down there waiting on the ball as Carlton comes around the perimeter, steps inside the 3-point line, pulls up and banks it in there. The Renaissance bank shot for Kendricus Carlton as that one hits the glass and fires off in the rim.
We'll take it.
Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good.
No
Not
doubt.
a beautiful shot there. but it does the right thing. He finds the bottom of the net and cuts the lead back to single digits. So here's Sanders again for three. This time misses everything. Lands in the arms of his own guy who puts it up, no good. Now third rebound is in there and good. Now 3 opportunities for EMCC, and they're starting to show some dominance on the boards. Got to rebound. That's the key right there. Is you cannot give them 3 looks. 2 of those looks from point blank.
No doubt. They're so athletic, so long, as you mentioned. 2 or 3 guys, 6'6", 6'7", they make it happen.
Whistle right here in front of us. Foul is going to go against 24, Romeo Sanders. First foul for Sanders, team's third. He'll sub off the floor, and we'll see Ja'Cory Smith come back in there. So Smith, the freshman we talked about in the first half, leading the team with 15.9 points per game. He's had some time to rest tonight, though, as they've done a good job spelling him minutes, keeping him fresh out there.
No doubt, he's already got 13 points so far tonight.
He's well on his way in limited action, the freshman from Raymond High School. As shot clock sets back to 19. Ball went up in the stands, and Trevante Doolittle's having to do a little hunting up there.
He is.
Had to go up there and get it. So Doolittle will inbound the ball. Lots of contact down low, but they fired up top to Rance Champ. Champ with the ball. Indians trail 11, under 10 minutes to play in the contest. ICC led it by as much as 5. EMCC's led it by as much as 11, which is the current lead here. Hobson with the ball, kicks out top to Doolittle, who dribble drives in there, gets amongst those big guys. Back to Carlton. Carlton going to work on Ja'Cory Smith, fights through contact, puts it up, rattles around, no good. Ball bounces around, but ends up in the hands of KJ Riley. So Riley brings it down, stops right in front of his coach Billy Begley, who says, let's slow things down, let's get into this half-court set. Let's reset on offense. We got a double-digit lead with 9 minutes to play. Let's get a good shot. They go down low to Smith, and that's what they got right there. You know, Jim, when you get the ball to Smith right there on that block and he can put it on the floor one time and turn to the rim, face up, that's tough to defend.
He's tough. He's 6'6", very powerful, good-looking player.
Timeout on the floor. ICC trails at 47-34, 8:55 to play here in the home finale. This is ICC Basketball on the ICC Sports Network.
Ever since you got that license, you haven't stopped moving forward. Now that you're older and on the move, you need a safer place to keep your money. We get it. A student checking account frees you up with things like mobile check deposit to take care of that check from grandma without having to stop at a bank. Pay with your phone when you're out with friends. And stop worrying about ATM fees. We'll pay you back for those. Worry about your future, not your money. And know that we'll stick with you wherever you go. Renaissance Bank. Understanding you. Member FDIC.
Jordan Smith alongside Jim Ingram here in the ICC Alumni Affairs and Foundation broadcast booth, where EMCC has come out on a 22-7 run in the second half and taken the lead by 13 points at 47-34 with 8:55 remaining in the contest.
Jordan, we got to find some energy here. Got to start hitting some shots. Cannot turn the ball over anymore. We still got time, plenty of time left in this game. Roughly 9 minutes, down by 13. We got the ball.
Rance Champ pulls up for three, way downtown, front iron, no good, but an offensive board from Kendricus Carlton. Nice job there by Carlton. The sophomore getting in there and fighting for the board. Now back to Carlton, thinks about the three, kicks back up top to Brandon Brown, pulls up for three, back iron, no good. And they're going to get Shamar Brown, I think, on the rebound, and that's going to go the other way. Foul on Brown, his first personal, team's fifth, as he got a whole lot of arm going up there for that rebound. Jim, it seems to me like when ICC was having that success, they cut into that lead in the first half and took that lead into the break. It was all with penetration on the offense. They were getting the ball into the teeth of the defense, getting fouls, and getting good looks right there from point-blank range. Haven't seen so much of that here in the second half.
We hadn't. That's what Coach Pate wants. He wants them to penetrate, get body to body with them, get the ball up, either draw a foul, get a shot.
This is where you get in trouble as Smith goes to work off that block and he spins back to his left and finishes with the right hand. That's what he likes to do, is get on that left side block, spin away from his dominant hand and finish it with the right side. As a dominant player down there low in the post, he's having his way, and EMCC's leads out to 15. Pass nearly lost by Brown as he swings it across the floor to Carlton. Back to Brown. Brown tries the dribble drive. Back to Champ. Pulls up for three off the wing, off the side iron, no good, and rebound to KJ Riley. Riley with some numbers, thinks about driving it off in there, but pulls it back. And that's a smart play there by Ja'Cory Smith, the guy that's a forward, he says, hey, you know, we're up 15 points, 7:30 to play. Let's not rush it. Let's not get a bad shot. Let's run some clock, run our offense, and get a good look. All 5 guys outside the perimeter here as they go isolation with Danny Washington. Washington drives it off in there, a ton of contact. It's going to go out of bounds off the EMCC, but my word, that's one of those spots where you're usually going to get a foul one way or the other.
Good defense by ICC. You're right. They just said he dribbled the ball out of bounds. We take over. Get some momentum here. We're down 15. Still a lot of time left in the ball game. We've got to get some good shots off. Like you said, we've been shooting 3-pointers from outside the last 3 or 4 possessions. Get the ball inside, drive, penetrate.
EMCC has dialed it up defensively for sure. We've played almost 13 minutes of action here in the second half. ICC only 7 points in the second half. Tyler Smith, dribble drive, feet slide out from under him. It was a good look at the rim. And he's going to be slow to get up there. That was a big hit. His foul does go against 25, Quamante Monfort, his second personal, team's 4th. As with some help of his teammates, Tyler Smith does hop up. But that's what you want. You want to dribble drive it in there. There's a conversation happening between Coach Billy Begley and one of our officials about the foul call there.
I think they're having a little disagreement.
Yeah, something had to do with the spelling of some word that I did not hear what was, but nonetheless, I'll have to ask that question maybe a little bit later. His first free throw from Smith is up and good. Yeah, I don't know what that was all about. Second free throw from Smith in there and good as well, so lead is cut back to 13. So EMCC had expanded it to 15, back to 13, and now ICC is going to go with the full court press.
Jordan, you know what we did? We went inside then and penetrated. We've got to keep doing that.
Good pass down low, breaks the press for EMCC, and now with 15 seconds on the shot clock, ICC will sit back into, I believe they'll go back into the 2-3 zone. Now more of a man-to-man look instead. Pass cut down low, leads a wide open guy for 3, rolls around no good for Ja'Cory Smith, and ICC with a rebound. In a hurry, up the floor they go, and you'd think they're going to fight into the teeth of the defense, but again, they pulled it out. As Brown had it, gives to Hobson. A nice no-look pass down low to Smith, and as Smith attacks the basket, he's fouled. So a back-to-back possessions where they've attacked like Coach Pate talked about, and 2 foul calls.
And good job, and stops the clock. We got a chance to cut it to 11 here with 6:33 left in the ball game. Got to make the free throws down the stretch.
3rd foul on Quamante Monfort, 5th team foul, 6:33 to play. ICC trails by 13, but first free throw is off the back iron, no good, so still a 13-point advantage for EMCC, as we'll see Michael Crump sub onto the floor. And by my stat sheet here, that's the first time I've had Crump on the floor tonight for ICC. He'll sub off Madarius Hobson and get Hobson a breather.
You're correct, sir.
Second free throw from Smith in there and good, so back to a 12-point advantage for EMCC as ICC looks to trap the ball again. Indians trying to trap it right here at the half-court line. It's a nice pass up the floor to Smith. He easily could have been called for a carry there, but he lost dribble. But nonetheless, no call. EMCC holds possession. 15 seconds on the shot clock. KJ Riley operates from left to right. Now handoff to Tremont Pitton. And Pittman dribbles it off in there, but a whistle and a foul. They're going to say a foul away from the basket, a moving screen. Going to be whistled on KJ Riley. Riley's first personal, team 6th. So from here on out, ICC is going to be in the bonus.
Jordan, we got time. We're down 12, got the ball. A little bit over 6 minutes left in the ball game. 49-37 Lions over the Indians at this point.
ICC led it by 3 at the half. They expanded their lead to 5 right out of the break. But EMCC turned up the defensive intensity, and it translated to points on the offensive end as they took back as big as a 15-point lead at one time. As Brandon Brown dribble drive down the lane, puts it up off the right hand off the left side, and finishes it and cuts it back to 10. Nice job there by Brandon to control the offense. Nice press look from EMCC as a hammer of a dunk tried to be thrown down there by KJ Riley. Excuse me, that was Gibson that tried to throw it down. He rejected it himself, and it leads to points on the other end as Rance Champ out of the corner is able to bury home a 3. But I tell you, Gibson went for the throat slash right there with that.
He did. And there's bodies everywhere. We've cut this to a 7-point game.
Yeah, big 5-point swing there off the missed dunk. Leads to a made 3. Almost a forced turnover there as the trap nearly got the basketball back. But Dante Powers able to hold on to it. Reset of the offense with 15 seconds on the shot clock. We're exactly 5 minutes to play in the contest. Powers operating off the far side wing, comes left side, kicks off down low to KJ Riley, who fights through some arms and puts it up and in off the glass. And Billy Begley will burn a timeout. 9-point advantage for EMCC as ICC has found some momentum and cut it back to single digits with 4:52 remaining in the contest. Well, it's a full timeout on the floor. We'll take that timeout as well. This is ICC basketball on the ICC Sports Network.
Everyone has a unique story to tell. Maybe your story has you performing your new song in front of a crowd, getting to play your favorite sport, or enjoying a horseback ride in the country. At Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi, our group of skilled surgeons understand your need to continue your story. That is why we are the preferred choice for orthopedic care. Thank you for choosing us. Our story is you. Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi.
First American National Bank is a local bank. Our 10 locations are right here in Northeast Mississippi. Banking decisions are made locally by people who live here. It's been that way for more than 50 years. Our involvement in the community is important to us. That's where our roots are. Technology, it changes daily, but our community is what keeps us together. If you like high-tech banking, we've got that too. Follow the flag to First American National Bank, from Iuka to Tupelo.
51-42, EMCC leads ICC with 4:52 remaining in the contest. Jim, thinking back to when the lead expanded all the way to 15 for EMCC, ICC went to a little bit of a full-court press of their own, forced some turnovers, and really got themselves back in the game because of that.
They did, and they went inside. Jordan got 3 or 4 free throws, cut it. We're still in the ball game, down by 9 with 4:44 left in the ball game.
Big possession right here. 2-3 zone is the look from EMCC. Trying to get the ball down low is Brandon Brown. He wants to get it down low to Tyler Smith. Hasn't been able to quite do it. Champ had it in the corner. Now swings back up top to Carlton. Skip pass into the corner for Champ. Champ pulls up 3 and rattles it home once again. For the second time tonight, Ranch, Champ buries one home and cuts the lead to 6. Back into that half-court trap with Michael Crump out front. Crump and Carlton try to trap the basketball. Get it to the center of the floor there with KJ Riley. Now back out top and reset of the offense for EMCC. Operating off the near side wing. Kicks over to Dante Powers. Powers down low, whistle and a foul. They're going to say before the shot. Foul on 15. That's going to be Ranch Champ. It's going to be the 6th foul. And I've never seen that before. The official just told Ranch Champ to tell his coach to chill out.
I hadn't seen that either.
Coach Pate's saying that it's happening every time down here. It's 2-on-1 out in transition. Champ gives back to Carlton. Lay it up and good. Kendrickus Carlton. A nice 2-on-1 possession in transition. That's how you want to beat in that 2-on-1, as they gave it back and forth and got the open look down to a 4-point lead. Reset of the defense and the offense at 15 seconds remaining on the shot clock. Out front is Pittman. Pittman gives to KJ Riley. Riley off the screen, right side, fights through a lot of contact. He lost it out of bounds. There was some contact there from Michael Crump, but they say he stayed in front, not enough to warrant a foul call. Dribbled off the foot, and ICC's got it back, only trailing by 4. Substitution, and they're going to sub Michael Crump off the floor right here, and he's done a great job out front in that defensive set for ICC. Hobson comes back onto the floor for Michael Crump. So 3:30 to play, 51-47 EMCC leads, but the Indians have the basketball. Off in the corner to Champ, back up top to Carlton. Carlton down low, and they're going to throw it away. Carlton threw it away, trying to get it to Tyler Smith. Here comes EMCC in transition, whistle and a foul. It's a block against ICC as Rico Gibson was trying to take it all the way to the rim. Foul goes against Carlton, say he didn't have feet set. That'll be the 2nd foul on Carlton, 7th team foul, so it'll be free throws rest of the way out for EMCC. So Rico Gibson Jr. averages 12.2 points per game. Was the starter out of Memphis, Tennessee. He was the one, remember, we mentioned from the Memphis Academy of Science and Engineering. His first free throw off the front iron, no good. And that's kind of been one of the Achilles heels for this EMCC team. Only shot the free throws at 67%. That's, for more or less, that's 2 out of 3. Coach Begley's probably wanting better than that, as the second one does rattle around and go home. So back out to a 5-point lead for East Mississippi with 3:13 to play. Champ with it in the corner. Hit a 3 there a couple of minutes ago to cut the lead to 4. Gives back to Carlton, who drives it off in there. picks up his dribble, gives back to Champ. Champ off the wing, and now to Carlton in the corner. Pass back to Champ, way downtown, thought about the three, but gives back to Carlton, who drives baseline, tries to fight in there among those guys, puts it off the glass, and good. Kendrickus Carlton got it in the right spot, had guys on his back, and knew, hey, I'm getting fouled, or I'm going to have a good shot. He's able to put it in off the glass. Nice job out front in that defense by Brandon Brown as he knocked it loose. I'll say it's off Brown's hand. So EMCC retains possession. 2:39 to play. 23 seconds on the shot clock, Jim. This one is coming all the way down to the wire, it feels like.
We've made a good run. We're down by 15 earlier in this half. Now we've cut it to 3 with 2:35 left in the ball game.
Dante Powers, basketball, top of the key. Works off the screen to his right. Drug his foot, got away with a bit of a walk call. Missed three-point shot, lands right in the hands of Clemente Monfort. Monfort puts it up off the right side. Well, when Gibson launched that three, he knew it was short as soon as he let it go, but he had a guy in the right spot to get that offensive board and put it back and hold on to that 5-point lead. So 5-point advantage, 2:10 to play as ICC takes the ball into the front court. Carlton gives off left side to Smith. Smith back to Carlton. They've worked everything off this left side on the offensive end. It's back into a man-to-man defense. They switch off. Pittman covers him. Ball got knocked loose through a lot of contact, and there's a whistle. And they're going to say as that one was loose. ICC got too much on. Well, you know, he lets them fight through it,
yeah,
and then towards the end, he calls the foul.
I wasn't sure about that one.
As they give it to Kendrickus Carlton, his third. And the bad part about that is you call that foul 80 feet away from the basket, and it leads to free throws now because they're in the bonus. So Clemente Monfort to the free throw line. 1-and-1 opportunity for EMCC. First one is in there and good. A substitution onto the floor for the Indians. Jalen Bean will check in. His first action of the night. He'll sub off Kendrickus Carlton, who's had a really good night for the Indians. Second free throw rattles around, no good. So a 6-point advantage, minute 50 to play for ICC. So this is one of those possessions where this is as close to a must-score possession as you're going to get. You want to be good right here. 3-point bucket for Hobson off the back iron, no good. Rebound, rolled around, rolls around, kicked out. Nice job, nice hustle play there by Tyler Smith to get the ball back out top to Brandon Brown. So you save possession. 15 seconds on the shot clock. Brown goes right, gets the ball knocked loose, and there's a whistle and a foul. And that's going to send Brown to the free throw line. Well, Tremont Pittman was all over Brandon Brown that time, played good defense all the way through, but got too much body as he came for the ball. In return, he gets called for the foul and sends Brown to the line. So Bean and Smith will sub off the floor. Porter and Carlton back out there for the Indians as Brandon Brown goes to the line. So it is 1-and-1, only 17 fouls on EMCC. Opportunity for 2 big free throws right here. First one, in there and good. So cut the lead to 5, 1:25 to play. Both teams in the bonus rest of the way. Second free throw upcoming for Brandon Brown. It is up and it is good as well. To lead back to 4 for EMCC and ICC. We'll go back to that full court press. Going to try to trap the basketball up here at the half court line. Working it back and forth between Dante Powers and Tremont Pittman. Powers picks it up, swings it across the set to Smith. Smith being covered by Porter. 12 seconds on the shot clock as Powers comes back up top and takes the basketball. Powers starts right, now comes back left, gives off to Smith. Smith's going to drive it off in there. Now kicks to his right. 3-point shot up and no good for Gibson, and ICC's got the rebound. Under a minute to play, 52 seconds reads the game clock. ICC trails by 4. Brandon Brown sets up his offense, gives off the Ranch Champ off left side. Now Brown has it back. 16-second shot clock, goes right, gives to Carlton. Carlton wants to go inside with the basketball, but nowhere to go. Takes a screen from Porter, drives off in the lane, puts it up off the glass in there, and good for Kendrickus Carlton. Carlton has done a great job of getting the basketball down there in the lane, and even though he's probably the shortest guy on the floor out there tonight, on both sides, he's gotten there and had success.
No doubt about it, Jordan. He's got 8 big points here in the second half.
55-53, EMCC leads as we'll keep it here with 33 seconds remaining in the contest. Jim, it's been a strange game. EMCC led it by a good score early on. ICC had a big close of the half and took a 2-point lead into the break. And then they came out, expanded the lead to 5, but as soon as it got to 5, it was a 13-0 run from EMCC. They took the lead back and led by as much as 15 at one point.
No doubt about it, and we've made a good run here. We got the ball inside, penetrating, getting to the free throw line, also getting some easy shots underneath. We cut it to 2 here. 33 seconds left in the ball game.
The other game we're watching in the division tonight is between Northwest and Holmes. Northwest has taken the lead at 56-49, 12 minutes to go in that one. Now, I'm looking here at my numbers, and even if ICC loses this one tonight,
we still have a game lead.
If Holmes loses as well, that pretty much declares the ICC is going to be in at the 4 spot, because that would put.
No, we
still have to go on the road and win. Okay,
you got to go on the road against Holmes.
It's at Holmes, yeah.
So that'll be a big game.
You currently got a head-to-head win against Holmes, so that does help. Nonetheless, you win this one right here. If you win this one and they lose, then you're certainly sitting in a good position. Just win this ball game.
That's right.
That makes it all a lot better. So a true full-court press right here for ICC as they're trying to trap the basketball. They had a chance, though, with Michael Crump to pick the ball up. Pittman trying to break the press. Right at 21 seconds, they get it across the half-court stripe to avoid the 10-second penalty. So Powers with the ball, running away from ICC guys left and right. 2-second difference is a whistle and a foul. My goodness, as that ball got knocked loose. It's rolling around, and Coach Pate holds on to his emotion there. I don't know how, because that was tight. That's hard to make that call right there as the ball's rolling around. Guys are diving for it, but nonetheless, foul does go against Michael Crump.
Still 1-1.
It's a 1-1 opportunity, so it'll send EMCC to the line. Dante Powers will be the shooter. It's 14.7 seconds remaining on the clock. EMCC leads by 2 at 55-53. So 2 huge free throws upcoming here for Dante Powers. Well, it could be just one if he misses the front end here, this 1-1. First shot from Powers up and good, so a 3-point advantage for East. 14.7 seconds to go. So a chance here to make it a 2-possession game. For Powers. Here's the free throw. Up and good as well. 4-point lead for East with 14.7 seconds remaining. Coach Bakley is going to burn one of his last timeouts. It is a full timeout. We'll take that one as well. 57-53, East leads, 14.7 seconds to go. This is ICC basketball on the ICC Sports Network.
This broadcast of ICC Athletics is being brought to you by Renaissance Bank, Little Caesars, Davis Ford, the Sonic of Fulton, Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works, the Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi, First American National Bank, the ICC BSU, your Itawamba County Farm Bureau agent, Joey Cox, Cagle Eye Center, the ICC Foundation, the Bank of Okolona, and the ICC Alumni Association.
My burger goes best with mustard.
Ketchup and mustard.
Grass-fed beef. No, corn-fed. On the grill.
Now, flat top.
Iceberg lettuce. Nah, arugula. Jalapeno.
No way. Avocado, dude.
Medium rare. Gotta be well done.
Brioche. Sesame seeds.
American cheese.
Cheddar.
Can I have a turkey burger? What? Turkeys are for Thanksgiving, man. I like my burger with the Coke.
I'll agree to that.
Strictly with the Coke. Only with the Coke.
Coke and a burger. Come on.
All right.
That's where you get the flavor.
ICC trails by 4, 14 seconds to play. They got to move in a hurry, try to get points on the offensive end. Ball knocked loose, kicked around. Hobson comes up with it. 5 seconds on the clock. Kick it across to Brandon Brown, who's going to drive off in there. He lays it up with only 1.3 seconds remaining in the contest. ICC trails by 2, and Jim, the press from East worked right there because it forced ICC to burn almost 12 seconds off the clock.
You're right. We made a good play to score, but he took all the time off the clock. We got to steal the ball here. We're down by 2, 1.3 left in the ball game.
So you got, I mean, you've also got the foul option. You could put them on the line, but if you do that, it's going to take up the majority of that 1.3 seconds remaining. It's going to be tough to foul and get them to the line and then get the ball in some kind of position where you can get a shot off because it's be coming off the free throw line. So we'll see what happens right here. As you mentioned, you want to go for the steal. All out for the steal right here. Not sure how many timeouts Coach Begley has down the way, but you would know he's got all of his, so you would know 4 of them. So, I mean, they've got 4 opportunities really here to get the basketball in. If you get to 3 or 4 seconds on the clock and don't have it in, you burn one of those timeouts. I would watch right here, and I saw him drawing on that board over there. You watch for that home run play or something right here where you throw the thing deep, you just pray somebody touches it and runs the remaining time off. Well, they whistled and called a foul, but I think the clock ran off. He's saying there was a foul before the clock. I have no idea. I heard the whistle, but well, that's a strange conversation right there. As the referee comes to the scorer's table and basically doesn't have a clue what's going on and starts showing people up.
0.5, half second.
So put 0.5 back on the clock. It's going to send Ja'Cory Smith to the line. It'll be a 2-shot foul. That is the 10th foul against ICC, so he does have 2 shots. 2-point lead for East Mississippi. First one is in there and good. And we'll take this opportunity to say Ja'Cory Smith has played a heck of a basketball game tonight for East. Been very impressive in there. It's been a good game all the way down to the wire. A 3-point lead for East. 0.5 of a second remaining on the clock. Second free throw for Smith. It rolls around off the iron, no good. Rents Champ throws it up. The shot was blocked by Smith. He stepped in there and knocked the thing down. It would have, if it went, it would have counted, I believe. But Smith steps in there and knocks it away. So that's a tough one. That's a tough pill to swallow as you led, then you got down big, you fought back, got the lead again, and then just couldn't close it down the stretch.
Great effort by the Indians. As you said, we're down by 15, all the momentum, and finally we got the ball inside. They started fouling us. We made some free throws. We penetrated, cut the lead, but just came up a little short, 3 points, 58-55. Very, very competitive ball game.
So we'll send it to break. We'll come back with the Renaissance Bank post-game report. We'll have those stats brought to you by Sonic, and we'll try to kind of get you up to date with what has to happen on Thursday night to see what playoff stipulations may be out there for ICC. Final score, East 58, ICC 55, here on the home finale on sophomore night from Fulton. We'll take a break and be right back. This is ICC Basketball on the ICC Sports Network.
Ever since you got that license, you haven't stopped moving forward. Now that you're older and on the move, you need a safer place to keep your money. We get it. A student checking account frees you up with things like mobile check deposit to take care of that check from grandma without having to stop at a bank. Pay with your phone when you're out with friends. And stop worrying about ATM fees. We'll pay you back for those. Worry about your future, not your money. And know that we'll stick with you wherever you go. Renaissance Bank, understanding you. Member FDIC.
Jordan Smith alongside Jim Ingram here in the ICC Alumni Affairs and Foundation broadcast booth as we will bring you the Renaissance Bank post-game report. 58-55, East Mississippi and ICC clawed back and forth all night long here tonight. And East Mississippi is able to escape and improve to 16-6 on the year, 9-2 in division play. ICC falls to 9-12 and 5-6 in division play. As we recap the game, ICC led at 27-25 at the half. It was not because they came out of the gates playing very well, though. They trailed big there early on, but they fought back, took the lead into the half. But that in part to some nice play there by Kendricus Carlton before the halftime break, forcing 2 turnovers, getting a couple of big buckets, and they took that lead in there. Then they came out, expanded that lead out to 5. But as soon as it got to 5, it was like that clicked or flipped the switch for East Mississippi, and they fought back, stormed back on a 13-0 run, and took the lead and expanded it at one point all the way out to 15. But that wasn't the end of it, as Coach Pate used his timeouts wisely, and he was able to get his guys to fight all the way back down to at one point, I believe it was a 2-point game.
Was.
And ICC just never could get over that hump at that point.
And give Grant Pate a lot of credit. He kept telling the players to get the ball inside, drive, penetrate, and it worked in the second half. We knocked that 15-point lead all the way down to 2. Just couldn't finish. Very, very good ball game. East Mississippi 58, ICC 55.
Time for a look at our stats brought to you by the Sonic of Fulton. Jim, let's take a look at those final numbers.
First, I'll do East Mississippi. You know, we talked about outstanding. Ja'Cory Smith, the 6'6" freshman, outstanding player, had 18 points. Gibson had 10. Dante Powers came off the bench, had 10. Pittman had 4. K.J. Riley had 6. And Munford came off the bench, had 7 big points for them. Leading the Indians tonight, Brandon Brown had 16. Kendrickus Carlton had an outstanding game. He had 14. Tyler Smith had 3. Porter had 6. Rance Champ hit some big threes, had 7. And Hobson only had 5 points, but played a very heady game as he always does.
That was an impressive East Mississippi team. I know that was a good win for them. That keeps them right there in the running to where if they beat Northeast on Thursday night, they have an opportunity, I would think, to clinch the North Division themselves. But they have the same length. They have the same athleticism. They're going to be around to stay for a while, I believe.
I think you're right. You look at East Mississippi, you look at Northeast, you're right, Jordan. They're both very athletic with the length they have. Playing 8 or 9 players apiece, it should be a great ball game this coming Thursday night.
It felt to me like tonight at times, Jim, the turnover bug is what really caused the biggest issues for ICC.
It did. You know, we're looking at the turnovers here. We had 16 turnovers, and they only had 9. They had 3 late in the second half. They had 6 first half. In the first 15 minutes of the second half, they had 0 turnovers. We finally turned them over 3 times late in the ball game. Too little, too late.
So as we mentioned, ICC falls to 9-12 on the year, 5-6 in division play. As we look forward to Thursday night, when ICC will go on the road down to Holmes Community College. That's kind of strange that the two of them end up matching up with each other because it could become a winner-take-all type battle. As we're not entirely sure on what the tiebreaker scenario could be. We do know if ICC goes down there and wins that they will be set for that 4th position in the state playoffs. Holmes was trailing Northwest a little while ago by 7 points with about 10 minutes remaining in the contest. And Adam, are you going down on Thursday night for that one? We will be there, but it will be off home stream next Thursday night. So we'll find out then what playoffs may look like for both the ladies and the men. As we got a score update here, Northwest leads by 6, 68-62, with 4:48 to go in that game. So it looks like a good one coming down to the wire there between Holmes and Northwest as well. We've enjoyed having you with us for tonight's matchup as we had 2 good games. Unfortunately, ICC ends up on the back end of both of those as the men drop this one 58-55. We want to thank Raphael Henry for controlling our cameras, Lee Adams for taking care of us with all of our photography needs down on the sidelines, Adam Gore for producing our broadcast. Jim, enjoyed having you over here with me again
Jordan,
tonight.
Always enjoyed being with you. You do an outstanding job. Appreciate Adam Gore and you let me join y'all some this year. It's been a great time.
For everyone associated with our broadcast, I'm Jordan Smith saying good night from Fulton as East Mississippi knocks off ICC 58-55. We'll talk to you on Thursday, and hopefully we'll get these Indians on in to the playoffs. Good night, everyone. Thanks for being with us.
Here, you can be your best. The best train here.